Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't had an opportunity to watch Arrow's Birds of Prey episode, stop listening now. Major spoilers, here we go. Today is March 26th, 2014, and I am a very happy comic book fan right now. Thanks to the CW and DC Comics. They did an amazing job on delivering the Birds of Prey. The high expectations I had for this episode, man, I was so nervous watching it. But as the episode began, it started telling a story of strong, powerful female characters, man. And that's what I wanted out of this episode. That's what I expected. I expected nothing less. And they gave me so much more, man. Let me start first off by talking about Birds of Prey. If you don't know what Birds of Prey is, go on Amazon.com, type in Birds of Prey. Once you see the TV show called Birds of Prey, go ahead and buy that bad boy, put it in your cart, check it out, and then also look for the Birds of Prey comic books, and that'll give you a really good start to understanding how amazing these characters are, man. And kind of also helping you understand how important it is for Wonder Woman's character for Man of Steel 2 to be delivered properly. Okay, so let's get back to Birds of Prey. Oliver expects the Huntress to return once her father is arrested. Laurel is involved in a hostage situation at the courthouse. Rory tries to keep Thea safe. I want to start with Roy's situation with Thea, man. His relationship with her is no longer an issue or an item as of right now because of Oliver Queen. Roy's rage is becoming uncontrollable, man. Tonight he got shot in the hand, and then his hand obviously healed. But the guy that shot him in the hand when they were going after the Huntress, here's what happened. The Huntress put another guy inside of her car, kind of paid him money to take her car and drive it, and then Arrow, Black Canary, and Roy chased this car down, made it pull over. When Roy went up to the window to, to get the Huntress out of the car, a guy shot Roy's hand. And Roy grabs this guy through the windshield, like seriously, punches through the windshield, grabs the dude out, rips his seatbelt buckle off, throws him out of the car. He flies through a fence, hits a wall, and I'm thinking to myself, like, Oliver, man, you got to do something, man. This guy is out of control, what was kind of cool about this is that, Green Arrow, Oliver Queen's Green Arrow, Stephen Amell. He's growing, man. He's growing into this leader, man. And it's kind of I don't know if it's kind of confusing or it's kind of strange for me, but I just didn't expect it to happen this soon. I mean, we're in season 2, episode 17, and he's calm, he's collective. This isn't the Green Arrow that I'm used to. This isn't the Green Arrow from season 1, definitely, but it's not the one that I've seen during season 2, which is better than season 1. I would call this the season 1. This season 2 is actually season 1 because I think that it's just an amazing season for Arrow. But I've never seen this character be portrayed in such a really great way, man. Like, he's an actual leader. Like, I can see this guy. Listen to this, and trust me, if you guys have listened to any of my past podcasts for Arrow, I have ripped this dude apart, man. I have ripped him to shreds, and he's not standing nowhere near my comic book characters. But tonight, I will say this. I could see, and this is crazy, but I can see this Arrow joining Ben Affleck's Batman and Henry Cavill's Superman. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm just going to put that out there. And the reason for it is how he acted tonight. Roy got his hand shot. Roy starts raging. He wants to kill this dude. And he's just like, stand down. Calm down. Relax. Roy, he starts calling his name. But none of that stuff's working. Instead of approaching him with anger, he just yells out, he says, Speedy. And that snaps Roy out of this rage mode, man, where he just wants nothing but death to this dude. And I felt so bad for this dude. I was like, yo, there's nothing's gonna save you. You're gonna die. And then, Oliver Queen, man, he stopped him by mentioning Thea's name, man. And he said that too. He said the only way I could have got you out of there is by mentioning her name. And he said, "Why'd you call me Speedy?" And he's like, "Oh, that's because Thea's nickname." And he said, "Oh, I thought you were trying to give me a nickname." And I thought that was kind of funny. I thought that was funny, man. There was a lot of comedy in tonight's episode, even though the episode was very serious, man. Tonight's episode, taking its name, man, from the acclaimed comic book series that gave a spotlight, man, on the DC comic universe heroines, man, and most of them that were inside of Birds of Prey, were Black Canary. You had the Huntress that were in there, and then there's a couple of them I'm not going to mention because it's going to get too crazy. But the Black Canary and the Huntress, it really focused on them inside of Birds of Prey, and tonight's episode did the exact same thing. And I liked how they included Laurel Lance, because I think something's going on with her. I think later on, towards the end of the season, I think she's going to turn into somebody. I don't know who it's going to be, but she has to play some type of role, man. Because every single episode, I'd say since episode number 12, she's been, going forward, trying to, move towards this side of like a hero, man. So hopefully that's what happens, man, okay? Here's the situation, man. Helena, man, the Huntress, she comes back into town to pretty much just get her father, and she wants to seek revenge, and she's terrorizing Starling City again. She goes into a bank. She's trying to get her father, and they set up this, like, trap, man. Oliver Queen, the Canary, etc. They set up this trap to where Black Canary, to where they know that Helena is going to come after her father, and then after that, from that point on, it's some of the best choreography. It's some of the best, I guess, action sequence that I've seen out of the show, man. And like I told you, man, I'm very passionate about how you portray comic book characters, man. I think it's just it's imperative, man. And that's my thing with DC Comics and the CW. It's like, listen, you did an amazing job on Smallville. What is going on with this show? And I think tonight, and obviously in season 2, I think that they are definitely listening, man. They're definitely listening. They're actually taking steps to improve the show, which, like I said, you have to give credit where credit is due, man. So the episode is amazing, man. The episode is absolutely amazing. Let me back up for a second because I'm getting too excited, okay? Once Oliver calms down Roy, he tells Roy, listen, you need to break up with Thea. You need to leave her alone. You're too dangerous. We're going to fast forward now to the end of the episode. Roy, in order to break up with Thea, okay, he tells her, he says, listen, I think we need to break up. And the reason why he says that, he grabs this dude inside of that club, that nightclub that Oliver owns, and he squeezes him on his shoulder. Squeezes him so hard, man, that the dude breaks down on his knees. And after that, man, like, Roy looks at his hand and he's just like panicking. He looking at his hand like, oh my gosh, what have I done? And then he looks straight ahead and Thea's right there. Thea doesn't see the incident, obviously, but then he goes and he says, hey, we need to break up. She kind of doesn't really listen to him, so he has to find another way, another, I guess, a justifiable reason to why they should break up. So what he ends up doing is he takes this quote unquote slut, okay, and he takes her upstairs. This is what Thea called her. And he makes out with her. And then Thea walks upstairs into this, into their inventory room, I guess you can say, and finds Roy macking down these hoes, okay? And she walks out. She's like, how dare you? And I can't believe you did this. She takes off this watch, and she throws it at him. And I think at that point, you kind of know, man, like, wow, that's very significant, man, because I guess the symbolism, man, of what just happened, to take a gift that really means a lot and to just, whatever, man, here, take this, I'm out of here. You want it your way, here it is, you got it. And after that, she broke up with him, man. I don't know how that's going to change Roy Harper's character. I don't know. But I think, it's just me thinking, but I don't know if it's Laura Lance or it's going to be Thea, that someone has to turn into a superhero, period. but we don't know which one it's going to be, you know? And here's the reason why I say that, man. Tonight's, with the situation with Roy Harper breaking up with Thea, and then Thea, she walks out the club after talking to Oliver. Oliver's like, "Hey, Thea, what's wrong?" "I don't know, Ollie. Oh, my boyfriend just broke up with me." And then, Oliver's lying the whole entire time. And then she says this. She says, "You're the only one who doesn't lie to me, Ollie. You're the only one that tells me the truth. Why is it so hard for everyone to tell me the truth?" And then she walks out. She doesn't want to get a ride home from Oliver. And then what ends up happening at the end of the episode is that Thea, she walks right into the arms, and not really the arms, but she walks right into the path of of Slade, okay? And Slade picks her up. He's like, just kind of creepy. He's like, "A girl like you shouldn't be walking out on the street alone. Why don't you get in my car?" Or something like that, And then she's like, "Mr. Wilson?" And then she gets inside the car. And then they take off, and then they show you next week's episode where, Thea's held prisoner, man. She's pretty much like, if you remember Iron Man, where he had to do the, I guess you could call it terrorist video with 7 rings. Yeah, she's sitting there on TV, and then Oliver sees the TV, and he sees that it's Thea's face, and Slade is holding her, obviously Deathstroke, and he's sitting there, torturing her or whatever. It was just kind of funny, man, because I guess I kind of seen it coming. I was like, okay, so she's mad, she's upset. Let me pause for a second. This is what I thought was going to happen. I thought that, Oliver would come upstairs, he would ask Thea, he would say, "Thea, what are you doing here? Is everything okay?" She would tell him the situation, then she would say, "No, Oliver, I don't want your help." She storms out. Something happens to her, whether she gets in an accident, chemicals pour on her. That's what I kind of thought was going to happen, okay? And I guess I got too excited. But, she ends up going with Slade, and now that pushes that storyline, that plot forward, okay? And I think that's really, really, really awesome, man. All right, so now let me kind of back up, all right? And let's start talking about the complex characters, which is a great thing, that are starting to figure out who they are post Oliver, okay? This is what tonight's episode is all about. It's all about these women, man. These 3 women, Laura and Black Canary and the Huntress, okay? They're trying to figure out who they are post Oliver, man. And not in a sense as far as, they're nothing without Oliver. No, they're just trying to find their purpose, because Oliver's character has found his purpose. He's no longer the hood. He no longer just kills. He has a purpose, man. And they're trying to find that too. And as they go along, as these characters go along, the Black Canary, the Huntress, whenever she gets out of prison, I guess, and Laura, whenever they find out who they are, that's going to make them, I guess you could say, accept their destiny, get on their path where their destiny needs to go, get to that point where they're on track to fulfill their destiny, man. There you go. That's how we're going to state that one, man, okay? And you definitely feel it tonight, man. You definitely feel it. Here's what happens, okay? Helena fights the Black Canary. The Black Canary throws down, that sonic boom voice, that screaming voice, man. Now, here's my thing, man. I'm kind of getting used to it, to seeing that obviously it's not going to be, from her voice. She's not going to have a high-pitched scream. But she threw down the device. And what they did is they improved a little bit upon the idea and the concept of that device, man. Last time when they first threw it out, it was just like, and it was kind of like a radar going off, a little alarm, but this time, man, they actually, kind of showed you how it amplifies. They increase the I guess you can call it LED lights, to where there's more light output. And in the blast radius of this thing actually shattered like multiple windows, man. Like it shattered everything inside of the room that it was placed into. And then she was able to kind of save some hostages, stuff like that. We know that Helena's father is dead. We do know that, okay? We know that she's in prison now. What's kind of cool about her being, I guess, well, not really cool. That's kind of the wrong word to say. But I guess what is a good factor and a good thing about her being in prison is that Oliver said to her, well, not really said, he just implied. He said he kind of held her hand and said, "You're not alone." So even, that's what's kind of crazy about his character, man, is that he never gives up on her, man. And to be honest, he never gives up on any of the women that he's been with, which is kind of crazy, man, because there's only enough crazy you can take, and he's been out with some pretty crazy people, man. But everything, I guess, is going pretty well, man. The best quote of tonight is where Laura lands. She said, "Once you let the darkness inside, it never comes out," man. Now, I don't know what that means as far as her character is concerned, because I'm so confused as to who she is or who she's going to be. Is she really going to take up a superhero role? Is she really going to have an alias? I mean, I don't know. I do know this, though. From season 1, she's no longer... I don't really want to call her fat, because she really wasn't fat to me. But I guess you can say she's fit now. She's fit compared to season 1. And I think anybody can notice the difference between Laura Lance season 1, Laura Lance season 2, okay? She's fit. And I don't know, maybe the producers did that. I think that's kind of a little bit biased, a little bit of sexist, I guess you can say. Yeah, I think it's ridiculous, man. To put a actor through that, you know what I'm saying? But I understand how these comic book fans and these geeks and these nerds go. They want everything perfect. And I mean, just look at Black Canary's uniform. It's ridiculously stupid, man. Just way too much cleavage for me, man. And not saying that in a disrespectful way, you know what I'm saying? It's just, come on, man, cover that up, B. There's no need for that, You can still be a strong, powerful, female character. You don't need all that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Just, I mean, you don't see, Oliver out there, you know what I'm saying, with his shirt off fighting, you know what I'm saying? So why we gotta see your chest, yo? I mean, put them breasts away. Anyway, man, moving on. Moving on, okay? All right, so with this season 2, man, episode 17, man, it's very entertaining, man. It's a vast improvement for Arrow. And they should do this again, man, like really, really soon. They should not wait. They should let, the situation between Oliver and Slade, they should let that, finish, man. Let Ra's al Ghul, slide on in. And then after that, man, have some more, heroes, man, show up, man. I'm really excited about this, man. I think the next episode is episode 19. That's the one where some stuff changes and some new characters get introduced. I'm pretty sure that it is. I think it's episode 19. We're on episode 17 was tonight, so obviously next week is episode 18. And then we'll finally be into that new material. And hopefully that new material is The Flash, man. This really wasn't a in-depth review podcast. This is more just kind of talking about the show, man, and just talking about some different things, man. One bad thing about the show before I go, I have to say this, I really do, because like I said, I want to give honest opinions, honest reviews. I don't want to ever, say something that's just not true. Okay, so here we go. I think that when Laura Lance was talking to Black Canary, and, Black Canary has this voice modifier, or whatever you want to call it, to where it disguises her voice. Laura was looking right at her, man. Like, they were literally inches away from each other's face. I don't understand how you can't recognize, your sister. How you can't recognize a person that you've known for a very long time. That you looked at photos upon photos because they were missing for so long that you can't see who this person is. They have to do better with that, man. I don't know. I mean... I understand this is a TV show. I understand that, but it's supposed to be grounded in reality, man. That's just some unrealistic stuff, man, that I can't sit there and approve of that, I have to sit there and tell the truth about that, all right? So that's pretty much the only bad thing, man. The episode, man, I have to give it, man. I have to give it 10 out of 10. I know it's kind of crazy, man, but I can't really judge it on, some of the, I guess you can call it, the ridiculous, stunt scenes, because we know that that's Arrow, okay? So I think that's kind of a biased opinion or a view if you're trying to just judge it, because every single week they're going to throw in a unnecessary parkour, they're going to throw an unnecessary stunt in, just because they, Black Canary is a stunt actress. She's not really an actress per se, but she's more of a stunt actress. They kind of just put her in there so they can do awesome stuff. I'm no longer gonna sit there and talk about Arrow as far as judging it on that stuff. I'm just gonna judge it as far as how well it did at entertaining me as a comic book fan, presenting the material, as far as the canon of the comic book, etc. And that's how we'll do it from now on, man. The acting is improving, the script is improving, the plot is improving. The show is improving. The actors are improving, man. So like I said, man, give credit where credit is due. I'm actually really, really happy, really thrilled, man, about this show. And I hope that they continue on this streak, man. Season 2 has been the best season for me. And I don't have to drop this show. I dropped Revolution because it didn't pick up, it didn't improve upon itself on season 2. I dropped watching Hannibal season 1 towards the end because it decided to just, I don't know, entertain us with food. Okay. But now season 2 is picking up with Hannibal, so I started watching that one again and live tweeting. If the show remains good, I'll have more podcasts uploaded. I'll live tweet. I'll have giveaways and all that other stuff, man. I do want to say this, man. For you guys that stayed here till the end, I will be giving away my Arrow swag bag and Arrow season 1 comic book and some other stuff that I have of Arrow, man, because I just don't want it anymore. No disrespect to the show or anything like that. It's just, it's not for me, man. And some things are just not for everybody. But, yeah, for you guys, man, that listen to the end of this podcast, man, be looking out for that. Tweet me, on Twitter, man. Send me a message on Twitter, either DM or just, use the @ Smallville MBD, and then ask about that, man, okay? And I'll put you guys into the drawing for that. It's just gonna be a hat, man. I'll put your names in a hat, and whoever wins it wins it. Obviously, this is only open to contestants inside of the U.S., man. Okay, all right. So one of these days, I'll open it back up internationally and do all the UK and all that stuff, man. But for right now, man, we're gonna stick it inside of the States, man. Okay, until I get some more time. Probably this summer, you'll probably see some international ones, man. Once again, man, we're out of here, man. That was Birds of Prey, man. Arrow. I'm happy, man. I'm happy. We're out of here. Thanks again for listening.